Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. A bitch is back talking about books. So today the book that we're going to be talking about is The Inheritance Games. I loved this book. I really liked this book. If you don't know what The Inheritance Games is about, it is a young adult mystery book. It kind of the vibes of this book, let's just put it this way, the vibes of this book is young adult Knives Out. And you know, Chris Evans in the sweater, the cardigan, it wasn't a cardigan, it was a sweater, but yeah, Chris Evans in the sweater, that movie, Knives Out. This book has that type of vibe. So it follows a girl named Avie. It follows a girl named Avery Grams who, out of nowhere, a billionaire dies. A random stranger, a billionaire. She does not know. She does not know this man. He's like one of the top 10 richest people in the world. This man dies. And one day, Avery, she's like a really poor girl. She's like living in her car at the time. And she goes to school. Her principal brings her into the office and is like, hey Avery, like, this man's over here says that they need you to read the will for this like old guy, and they said that you had to be there, etc., like you have to go with them. The man who died is named Tobias Hawthorne, and Tobias Hawthorne, one of the top 10 richest people in the world, she's like, why am I here? I don't know any of you rich people, etc., like she just does not fit in. It's like a Cinderella story-esque thing, right? She goes to this will reading for this man that she has no idea who it is, and this will gets read. Basically, this old man, Tobias Hawthorne, leaves his entire inheritance to Avery. And then the story kind of follows this mystery as to why Tobias Hawthorne would do this. And Tobias, he has, like, there literally is no reason why he would do this, right? He has 4 grandsons. Tobias Hawthorne, he has 4 grandsons. And it was expected that when the will was read, the money would go to his grandsons, right? Because that's the heir to his legacy. So overnight, Avery becomes this billionaire, and now the entire Hawthorne family is looking at her like, why the fuck would he give you all the money? So it becomes this mystery as to why they would do this. Then Avery kind of gets into this love-esque triangle thing between 2 of the grandsons because they're like hot, you know, between Grayson and Jameson. And then also the brothers, aka the grandsons of Tobias Hawthorne, always talked about how this billionaire man loved to play games, and his like last dying thing was like to create this last game and this last mystery for the grandsons and for Avery to find out the reason why Avery inherited all this money. So the whole time in this book, you're kind of trying to unravel that mystery as to why Tobias Hawthorne would give Avery all this money, why a complete stranger to this whole family inherited his fortune. And yeah, the whole book is like unraveling that mystery. And I have to say, I really liked this book. There is one thing I did not like about it, and I'll just like get that out of the way. Let's get out of the way what I didn't like. There's a couple things actually. The first thing is that I wasn't really into the love triangle that they're trying to set up between Jameson and Grayson and Avery. That's like 2 of the Hawthorne brothers and then Avery, the main character. Because I know it's supposed to be a mystery, the romance is supposed to be a side piece thing, but it just really didn't feel developed. Like, the entire love triangle just felt like sexual chemistry. Like, every single time any of the Hawthorne, those 2, like Grayson or Jameson, would come into the picture, she'd be like, oh, he like swiped at my hand and I tried not to feel anything. And I was just like, this is all just I guess, sexual chemistry because they're like hot and whatever, and that's basically it. Like, that is basically all that she has in common with these people, except maybe Grayson, because I think there's only one scene where I feel like Grayson and Avery really bonded. I think that was when they were talking about numbers at the foundation. There's like a scene, if you've read it, there's like a scene where they're like talking numbers at the foundation and they actually bond. That's the one time where I feel like, okay, they actually developed this love triangle at all. But other than that, I feel like this love triangle that they were trying to set up just like was never developed. It was like just all sexual chemistry and nothing beyond that. The other thing I didn't actually feel like was developed a lot was Avery. The way that all of the characters are set up in this is actually really, really well done. And I feel like they set up every single character, because there's so many of them. There's so many characters in the book, but they're all so distinct in their own way. Every single member of the Hawthorne family is so distinct. The sister to Avery's half-sister is so distinct. And the bodyguard and every single person, you understand who they are fundamentally on like a character level. You get them. The only person I didn't feel that way with was Avery. Like, Avery as a person, I feel like she felt kind of like a self-insert character, and she didn't really feel defined. And so that is the other thing I will say is kind of a downside to this book. But other than that, I really, really love this read. It's really, really fast, and you just want to keep reading. Like, there's so many mysteries, and once you find an answer to one, another one opens. And I really, really liked that. It was very fast-paced. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I will definitely continue. This is not the first book to the series. There is another book. I don't know if there's going to be a third, but I will be reading the second, so watch out for that video. And yeah, I just really liked the way this book did everything. It feels like they set up the mystery really well, and then once you get to the end of the book, there are a little bit more surprises, and also on top of that, you get the answers that you're looking for, but not all the way there, aka setting up the second book. But I think they gave you enough. Like, the author gave you enough so that you felt satisfied when you finished reading it, but also wanted to continue on. So yeah, I really like this book. This was a really quick review because I just don't want to spoil anything. Like, I don't want to spoil this book. I just think that you should read it, especially if you're into mystery, especially if you're into YA. I think the one thing about it is that it feels super YA to the point where I just feel like there's a lot of parts that just weren't detailed enough. Like, when they were describing the house, when they were describing certain rooms, I was just like, I just need a little more. Like, I cannot visualize this right now. And it felt like some scenes went by too quickly and so fast that I just didn't get the full image in my head. But other than that, I thought this was a great read, and sorry, I'm Team Grayson. If we're gonna have this love triangle, you gotta pick a team, right? I'm Team Grayson. I like Grayson. I think he is endgame. I think it's pretty obvious there. I'm gonna look stupid as hell if that is not the case, but I really do think that he will be endgame. But if they're gonna actually like move forward with this love triangle, but yeah. Please let me know your thoughts if you've read this book. I really liked it. I love having a conversation below in the comments, so please tell me your thoughts. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and like this video if you liked it, and I will see you in the next one.